Hi you guys and welcome to my channel. So today we are going to do a coffee scented candle. I'm just going to attach my wick here at the bottom. I'm using a glue gun here. That's just the way I prefer how to do it. You can do it in other ways as well. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do, we're just going to weigh up some wax here. Just going to wrap a pot. So we are going to weigh off 40 grams of wax. That's 1.41 ounces. This is just for the first pouring that we are going to do. Just a little bit off here. Perfect. So let's weigh our scent as well. Now I have this really amazing Brazilian coffee scent here, which I absolutely love. I'm going to dose with 10%. So what I'm going to do is if we have 40 grams of wax here, we need 4 grams of scent, right? Just do the 4 grams here. Almost there. Four grams, that would be approximately 0.14 ounces of scent. Okay, so now that our scent is ready here, I'm just going to melt this to 71 degrees Celsius, approximately 160 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, so now our wax is ready. Just going to give a little stir here. What we're going to do, we're going to color the wax here. I'm going to color it a nice dark brown. I have my little granules here. I prefer to use granules more than I do liquid colors, especially for these candles here, because I can dose much more precise. There we go. Just gonna give it a good stir here. Now we're just going to color test it, just to be sure that we have the color that we want. With the color in the bowl here, when it's not set, the wax, it's quite darker than what it really will be once it starts setting. So you need to keep in mind that this will be lighter. So if you want a darker color, you need to add some more. It's good to color test. There we go. Just gonna get some more here. It's very important that we color first, and this is also due to temperature. If you add your scent when it's too hot, it's gonna evaporate a lot of the scent. So it's good to add it around these 60 degrees Celsius, around 140 degrees Fahrenheit. But then again, at the same time, depends the wax that you're using, your brand. But this type of information should be available to you. So now I'm just going to add my scent. It's just a lovely coffee scent. I use a French brand. It's a really good brand. I really like using it, even the wax and everything. The wax I'm using here also for the candle is a blend of coconut and soy wax. I absolutely love this wax. With this wax, to be honest, I don't experience so much frosting in my candles as well, and it just kind of works for me really well, but it's something that you really would need to experiment with. And you will figure it out eventually. In the beginning, my candles were frosting, that's definite. But then you kind of just figure it out what works for you. Like one of the things, for example, before I do my pouring, I want to heat up the glass a bit because it's quite cold, the glass, and you're shocking the wax. So I experienced that if I just heat up the glass more with a heating on, for example, then I won't have as much frosting, for example, or no frosting at all. So I'm just going to heat my glass. There we go, not too much, just a little bit. And now we can pour our scent. I'm just going to give it a stir. Perfect. Now let's pour into our glass here at the center. Just trying to avoid any splashings on the side of the glass. There we go. Okay, perfect. So now let's leave this glass just to set here. Next thing we want to do is we are going to make some decorations here for our candle. I have this big coffee bean here and this little smaller coffee beans, and they're really cute when they come out. For this we're going to use a different wax. We're going to use a pillar wax. It's a harder wax and it's a bit easier to work with when you're molding and so forth. And this wax you also use it for pillar candles. Okay, so let me just grab a new pot. There we go. Just going to move this aside. Now we have to weigh off our pillow wax. So I'm just going to, let me see here, going to weigh off approximately 40 grams of wax. There we go. 40 grams of wax, that would be 1.41 ounces, okay? So let's do the scent straight away, now that we know how much our wax we have here. So I'm going to do 10%. That would be 4 grams of wax. Four grams of scent, sorry. A little bit too much. Perfect. So 4 grams, that would be 0.14 ounces of scent. I don't know about you guys, but I love coffee, and this scent is just amazing. Really amazing. So now we're going to just melt this. We're going to melt it at a higher temperature. It's particularly for this wax, it needs a higher temperature, so we're going to go up above 70, definitely like 73 degrees Celsius. That would be like 165 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay. Okay, so now our wax is heated here. There we go. Now what we are going to do, we're going to color it first. Always want to color your wax first. I want a quite dark color, so I'm going to add quite a bit here. Just going to stir it up. I'm going to color test it as well. Let's just get that incorporated first. So that's a really nice dark color here. That's perfectly fine. So now we are going to scent our wax. The wax cools quite rapidly here, as it's not a lot that we have in our pot. So we can go ahead and add the scent. edge there. Stir it well in. Let's grab our molds here. Okay. I'm just gonna start off doing the big ones first. These usually take much longer to set, so I'm just gonna leave them here. I'll do another 40 here. I could have done it more. I'm just going to do another 40 and do it in the same pot. And there we go. Exactly 40. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing. We're going to melt the wax. We're going to weigh off again the same amount, 4 grams here. Meanwhile, everything is setting. We can go ahead and start with our whipping wax. I'm just going to change the pot. This is the pot we used our container wax in, this coconut and soy blends. All right, so let's weigh it off. We are going to need 90 grams of wax here for the whipping. Go. So 90 grams, that would be 3.17 ounces. So now let's weigh off our scent. So if we have 90 grams of wax, we're going to need 9 grams of scent. If we're dosing at 10%, which we are. A bit too much. There we go. So 9 grams of scent, that would be 0.32 ounces. Okay, all right, perfect. So now let's melt this. We're going to melt it to 71 degrees Celsius, 160 degrees Fahrenheit. It has a lower melting point, that's why we're not melting at the same temperature as the pillar wax. Okay. Okay, so now it has melted, you guys. Just going to grab my spoon here. So I'm going to color more here. Now we have to consider the fact that we are going to whip the wax, and the more we whip it, the lighter it's going to become. So if you want to add some more color into it, depends how light you want it. I'm just going to stir it well here, and I'm just going to check it. It's quite dark. It's perfectly fine. Just give it a good stir here. Just want to make sure that everything is well incorporated. We're going to add our scent. Just make sure your wax is not too hot. I usually add it around 60 degrees Celsius. Don't know if I mentioned it before. It's approximately 140 degrees Fahrenheit. There we go. Perfect, you guys. So what's going to happen now is we're going to leave this wax set a bit. It has to get colder. Once it starts to get into a thicker consistency, like a puree, then we can start whipping it. So I'm going to show you I'm going to show that to you when it's ready. These are still quite warm. Even these need some time. So let's just leave everything to set here. This one we can take off. Once these are ready, we can start demolding them. Okay, you guys, let's demold our coffee beans here. I think they are ready. Cute, it's super cute. There we go. We have a little smaller ones here as well. As you guys can see, my wax is becoming quite thick in it now. Just gonna give it a stir. It's like a puree consistency. It's so ready to be whipped. However, I'm going to take one of my coffee beans here. I'm going to make a hole for the wick. Just gonna do it gently. There we go. Just gonna scrape the excess out. Just gonna make sure that the hole is big enough. Now I'm doing this while my bean is still a little bit warm in it. It's not completely 100% set, right? The wax. Otherwise it might snap in two. There we go. So that's how you do that. So let's get back to our wax here. It's even thicker now, as you can see. So now it's at a stage where we can whip it. Just gonna give it a stir. And we can start whipping. Perfect. So now we have this light mocha color, which is the color I want. So now I'm going to grab my piping bag here, my spoon. Just gonna hold it just a bit, just to warm it up, not to shock the wax. Just gonna grab my nozzle, warm it up a bit. Don't want to shock the wax in the nozzle as well. In the meantime, let's put a bit of coffee beans here. There we go. I always like to get all my wax out from the nozzle. Never leave anything in there, in case some do get stuck. Just clean it with a heat gun in a bowl. I'm going to take my coffee bean. Okay, you guys, so now I'm going to put my labels on here. At the front. Perfect. Now I'm going to put my CLP label on. I put that in the bottom. Grab my Brazilian coffee label here, and I'm going to want to put my safety label on here as well. I'm just going to do that at the back of the candle. There we go. And this is how I package them in my boxes. I have my little candle care card here. And there we go. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please do like, subscribe to my channel if you like what I do, and yeah, it helps me grow my channel quite a lot, and I appreciate the support, you guys. See you in the next video. Bye.